It is officially mock draft season for the New York Giants and their fans. And on today's video, I'm doing my first mock draft of the 2026 NFL draft cycle. We'll break that down coming up in a second. Excited to share that with all of y'all. Put a lot of work into this one. But if you want the Giants to hold the number one pick and keep the number one pick for the draft coming up in April, hit that thumbs up icon right now. You're locked into the New York Giants now by Chat Sports, and I am your host, Marshall Green. Last year, I think we did like 14 or so mock drafts on the channel. It's mock draft 1.0 right now. At the time of recording this video, before week 16 gets kicked off, the New York Giants own the number one pick in the 2026 NFL draft, followed by the Las Vegas Raiders, the Tennessee Titans, Cleveland Browns, New York Jets, Cardinals, Saints, Commanders, Cincinnati, and the Los Angeles Rams picking number 10, thanks to the Atlanta Falcons being a disaster of a franchise. I'll say this. If the New York Giants end up with the number one pick, you got to trade down. Trading down is the right move, and I think it's the only move that the New York Giants need to make. I just don't see a player that's a non-quarterback that is worth the number one overall pick. Like, you're already light on draft capital. You had to give up that 2026 third-round pick to move up for Jaxson Dart. I'd do it 1,000 times over again. But you hold the jewel of the draft with that number one pick. And with teams like the Jets, teams like the Raiders, Cardinals, Browns, all needing a quarterback, they could look to give up the farm to move up to number one. Similar situation a couple of years ago when the Carolina Panthers jumped up from the number 9 pick to the number 1 pick with Chicago. The Bears in return got pick number 9, pick number 61, a future first, a future second, and DJ Moore. That was for Bryce Young. I'll be rooting for Indiana to win the college football playoff. That way Fernadno Mendoza's stock continues to rise. I use the Pro Football Focus mock draft simulator for this one. I offered a trade to the New York Jets where the Jets would get the number 1 pick. The Giants would fall down to number 5. They also get the number 18 overall pick that comes via the Indianapolis Colts in that Sauce Gardner trade. I also acquired pick 46 from the Jets, previously owned by the Dallas Cowboys. So you essentially get a first-round pick this year at number 18, a second-round pick this year, and I was able to get the 2027 first-round pick coming from the New York Jets. So 2 firsts and a second to fall down 4 spots in the NFL draft, so the New York Jets could move up to go and select Fernadno Mendoza, the Heisman Trophy winner from Indiana. Then I had Dante Moore in this mock draft simulator go number 2 to the Las Vegas Raiders. And then Peter Woods, the defensive tackle from Clemson. He is a Tennessee Titan. And this is where things got a little bit interesting. The Cleveland Browns, with the number 4 overall pick, they end up selecting Jordan Tyson, the receiver out of Arizona State. And then the New York Football Giants were on the clock. And as we are on the clock with the number 5 overall pick, I want you to get down in the comment section and let me know, who would you pick in this spot? If you were the general manager for the Giants, and this is how the first 4 picks went, and you're on the clock at number 5, who would you pick in this spot? Sound off for me down below. With the 5th pick in the 2026 NFL draft, and really mock draft 1.0 on the channel, I am selecting Caleb Downs, the safety out of Ohio State. I almost feel like it's a little bit rude, a disservice to Caleb Downs to just call him a safety. This dude is a defensive chess piece. He can play all over the football field, and all he does is make game-changing plays. I went back and I watched his tape from 2023 when he was at Alabama, then 2024 and 2025 as a Buckeye, and I'm not sure I've seen a safety have better closing speed in my time covering the NFL draft here at Chat Sports dating back to January of 2021. He plays at the top of the field. He can line up in the slot. He can go to the box. He is a I want to say sure-handed, but like an unreal tackler. He doesn't miss tackles in the open space. He is a captain. He is a leader. He is a winner, and he would bring a playmaking ability, but also an extended coach on the field type of feel. 93 stops in his college career. A stop is considered a negative play for a offense when a defender makes a tackle. He had 30 stops in 2023 as a freshman. Started as a freshman in the SEC at Alabama. 31 stops the next year, 32 the next year. He makes plays at the line of scrimmage, 16 career tackles for loss. He makes plays there, and he is awesome in coverage as well. In 2025, he has 2 interceptions to his name. He's been targeted 36 times in coverage. He's allowed 23 receptions, but only 136 yards. Think about that. That's essentially what? 6 yards per carry, 5.5 yards per catch. He also has over 323 coverage snaps this year, and he has not allowed a single touchdown. In 2025, when targeted, quarterbacks have an NFL passer rating of 50.5. That's on a scale of 1 to 158.3. Last year, an NFL passer rating when targeted of 52.6. He's an impact player in the run game. He can slide into coverage, and he is a playmaker, something the New York Giants don't have at the second level of this defense. And why I said earlier, I think it's a disservice to say that he's just a safety. He is more than just that. Like, anytime a quarterback comes to the line of scrimmage, you got to say, where is Caleb Downs at? Where's number 2 at? Because he can line up at free safety. 906 snaps there. He could play boundary corner if you need him to. 48 snaps there. He can line up in the slot and be that big nickel. 562 snaps there. You want to put him in the box and you want to be an elite defense with speed everywhere? 838 snaps in the slot. And then he lined up on the line of scrimmage 66 snaps in his college career. He can line up anywhere on the field, and he makes plays. Dane Brugler of The Athletic, prior to the season, had him as the number 1 player in the draft. He's now number 3 on his big board, and he writes, like Arvell Reese, I don't think Downs will be drafted as highly as they have him ranked because of positional value. Given how the NFL has drafted safeties in recent years, we can't even call Downs a top 10 lock. But the Ohio State All-American is one of the best pure football players in this draft class. NFL coaches are going to love how he marries his athletic ability, field vision, and toughness. I absolutely love that. Mel Kiper wrote this about Caleb Downs, saying, Downs, the brother of NFL wide receiver Josh Downs and the son of former NFL running back Gary Downs, is basically an extension of the defensive coordinator. His football knowledge shows in his play. It's obvious when you watch the film in the Ohio State defense. But what really impresses me is how well he picked up Nick Saban's system as a 2023 freshman at Alabama. He diagnoses quickly thanks to excellent pre-snap instincts, and that allows him to play faster than his straight line speed might suggest. Plus, Downs is solid in coverage, and he is a very reliable open field tackler. This guy might be the best player in this class, and there's still going to be people in the comment section. But Marshall, you cannot pick a safety number 5 overall. Yeah? What if you pick him and he's Kyle Hamilton? What if you pick him and he's Derwin James? What if you pick him and he's the next Troy Polamalu, the next Ed Reed? He's going to be a multi-time all-pro player if he can stay healthy. In my opinion, when I was on the clock, he was the best player on the board, and he fits a major need. What more can you ask for? He's a special player, won almost every award for the best DB in the country this past year. And the Giants need a guy that's a winner. He's a winner. They need a leader. He's that type of guy. He's a captain. His IQ is off the charts. He is a sideline-to-sideline playmaking machine. He's exactly what the New York Giants need. Coming up next, the Giants are back on the clock at pick number 18, thanks to the Jets and thanks to the Colts. We'll talk about that pick coming up in a second. But first, the holiday season is here. And if you're looking to get somebody a gift, whether it be a chain, a pendant, any type of men's jewelry, go to GLD.com, use that promo code CHAT, and get 50% off. Let's be real, guys. Buying men's jewelry used to be a nightmare, especially during the holidays when you wanted something meaningful that wouldn't fall apart. It was low-quality junk that snapped after a week, or it was insanely overpriced with ridiculous markups. What I love about GLD is that every single stone is meticulously hand set. They only use real gold, and every single piece is guaranteed for life. It's literally built to last for the rest of your life. And shout out to GLD. They hooked me up with this awesome chain and this awesome New York Knicks pennant as well. They have deals with the NFL, NBA, NCAA, and so much more. Work hard and change the game. Right now, GLD is making holiday shopping easy. For a limited time only, new customers get an insane deal. Use that code CHAT to get 50% off at GLD.com. That's 50% off with the code CHAT at GLD.com. After your purchase, they'll ask where you heard about them. Please support our show and tell them that Chat Sports sent you. All right, with the number 18 pick in the Giants now, mock draft 1.0, I am selecting the 6'5" inside linebacker out of the Ohio State, Sonny Styles. I'm taking all of the Buckeyes. Their defense is loaded with talent. And like we talked about with Downs, a defensive playmaker, that is exactly what Styles is as well. Just 21 years old. He looks like a freak on the football field, and he plays like a freak as well. When he got to Ohio State, he was a safety, and then they moved him to inside linebacker. Sideline to sideline speed, like Downs. He's a chess piece that you can line up all over the football field, and they've been using him in different roles every single year, which tells me when he's in the NFL and you put him in one spot, he's going to excel at it, or you could use him all over. He can rush the passer, had 6 sacks in 2024. He has not missed a single tackle in 2025. 80 tackles, 0 missed tackles, 5 tackles for loss. He has 45 stops this year, a tackle that results in a negative play. Think about it like this. You have 80 tackles, and 45 of them are negative plays for the offense. He is a demon on defense, and the Giants, they need more of those guys. He is actually number 12 on Mel Kiper's big board, and he said, you can tell Styles is a former safety. He has outstanding speed, and his burst allows him to spy the quarterback. Watch for him to dominate at the combine and in pre-draft testing. Styles is also a dependable tackler and closes in a flash. He really took the next step this season, even as he adapted to a new system under defensive coordinator Matt Patricia. He could be the centerpiece of your defense, your Bobby Okereke replacement. The Giants are thin at linebacker, and I didn't go into this pick thinking I needed to take a linebacker. He was the best player on the board. Dane Brugler, who put out his top 50 big board at the beginning of November, I'm curious to see where Styles is ranked when he updates it. He says it is rare to find a 6'4", 240-pound linebacker who are freak athletes. Ohio State, they have 2 of them with Styles and Arvell Reese. A senior captain. Styles is still just 20 years old. He uses his range and speed to quickly react to what he sees, and he isn't close to reaching his ceiling. Bring me all of the defensive playmakers. Look, I would have loved to find a right tackle at that spot. I would have loved to find a defensive tackle with that position. I would have loved to add another talented receiver to this team. But the draft board fell like it was, and I felt like I took 2 of the biggest difference makers on defense in this class. The Giants' defense lacks speed. It lacked speed all year long, especially at the second level. That's why their defense is so bad, especially against the run. I know defensive tackle is a major part of that, but these linebackers don't make plays. They don't get off blocks. They don't read and react. They don't get downhill. They don't play with a reckless abandon. Caleb Downs, it's Sonny Styles, and I love that name. You can't be a bust if your name is Sonny Styles. They are going to bring a type of leadership, winning mentality, athleticism, and chess piece-like ability to be moved all over. You roll out a defense, and I said this all last year, and I'll say it again. You roll out a defense with Dexter Lawrence, Abdul Carter, Kayvon, Thibodeaux, as well as Brian Burns, and then you add a Sonny Styles, you add a Caleb Downs. You have freaks all in that front 7. And then you have Downs on the back end doing what he does. I would love for the Giants to leave the first round with a trade down where you add Downs, you add Styles, you still are going to get another second-round pick for the New York Jets, and you get their first-round pick next year. That is why getting that number 1 overall pick is so damn important. You still have your second-round pick. You'd have 2 picks in the second round this year. You could still go get a D tackle. You can still go get an offensive tackle. You can still find a receiver. And next year, you have 2 first-round picks. Getting the number 1 overall pick is the most important thing for the Giants going forward outside of firing Joe Schoen. That's where we're at. It needs to happen. So go ahead and lose the rest of the games, and you need to tank because you're not going to lose to the Raiders unless you do so. Grade this mock draft. You get Downs at number 5. You get another Buckeye at number 18. A, B, C, D, or F. It's not a Giants Now mock draft unless we get a bunch of Fs in the comment section. So be honest, be mean, and be aggressive. Make sure you are following me on social media. I'm on Twitter. I'm on Instagram. Mock draft season is here, so lock us in. Go down right now. Hit that big red sub button. Like the video on the way out, and let's go Giants.